Hey, it's Robbie here. This is Frecky Fit Wolf, and it is Thursday, so that means it's time for the motivational meme of the week. It's the time where I take a meme, I analyze it, I think about it, I talk about it, and I share it with you guys. So stay tuned for this week's meme. Alright, so first of all, in case y'all are seeing this bright white shirt, if you remember, I mentioned in my last video that the shirt was behind me and distracting me because I had not gotten the right size and I was kind of scared to take it back because I've never taken something back. Well, y'all left a bunch of comments telling me to take the darn shirt back and exchange it. And I did. And so I finally have it. It makes me very happy. I love hoods. And I love sleeveless things, or short sleeve things. So it makes me very, very happy. So now I have this style in 3 different shirts. But I finally did it, and it wasn't as bad as I was thinking. The ladies were rude, though. Like, rude. Not mean, but very much like, what do you want? And, oh, I just want to exchange this for another shirt. I grabbed the wrong size. I'm like, oh, okay. Typing it in, and then I hear the other lady, like, as a greeting to the next person, what do you want? It's like, dang, everybody else in this store is super friendly. I walk through and everybody smiles and is happy. But the customer service just really wasn't. And I get it. They're probably dealing with the worst of the worst people. They are dealing with people that are lying, that are trying to scam them, like all kinds of stuff. So they're not dealing with the best people. People yelling at them, complaining, whatever, taking out their problems on them because of stuff. But, like, I was just trying to exchange a shirt. That's all I was trying to do. And I was already nervous about it because I'd never exchanged anything before. And they were just very, very unhappy. At the same time, I do think, you're the customer service representative or person or whatever the phrasing is. So I feel like they should have been a little bit nicer because that's kind of their job. But whatever. I did it. It wasn't that hard. She just was rude. And I went and got it, and I got the shirt. And I realized how blindingly bright it is on camera, which is kind of cool. I feel like an angel. Anyway, you're not here to talk about my shirt. You're here for the meme of the week, and this one is here. All right, so I just woke up one day and decided I didn't want to feel like this anymore or ever again. So I changed. I had lots of excuses for not being able to change, but at the end of the day, they were excuses. Being able to change starts with your desire to change. So, this one packs a punch because a lot of people always ask me, especially now that I'm 30 pounds down, and sorry, Goldie's over there stretching out. Anyway, now that I'm 30 pounds down, people ask me like, well, wow, what'd you do? How'd you start? Starting is the hardest part. There's all numerous factors that go into getting your head in the right mindset for it. I've talked before, you've got to love yourself to be able to do it. You've got to care about your body and your health in order to do it, and so many different things. But ultimately, like this says, you reach a point and you just decide, I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to, like for me, I don't want to have the back pain. I don't want to be breathing heavy in everybody's ear when I'm just standing. And all the health issues, all the other issues. I have a video about all of my reasons, clothing options, feeling attractive, all kinds of things. Not that it needs to be a superficial thing, but it is a factor, and all factors are valid. Whatever your reasons are valid. But it starts with your decision to change, your decision to make this journey happen. You've got to decide. You've got to choose. I am a huge advocate, I don't know the word, but I'm a huge believer, there we go, that everything in life boils down to choice. And with weight loss, you have to choose that to do it. You have to decide to do it. You have to be ready to do it. I feel like the past 4 years that I've been doing it for, 2 weeks and quitting or whatever, I feel like I hadn't fully decided. And it's more than just that, but that is the first step, especially because, like it says, I had lots of excuses for not being able to change, but at the end of the day, they were excuses. And that is true. I mean, I was using, well, I'm broke right now. I can't afford to eat healthy, so I can't do it. Or, well, I'm going to wait until next week to do it. Or I'm going to start at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of the year, make it a New Year's resolution, whatever. There's a bunch of excuses. And that's all they are. Even as I'm mentally, and I'm working my way up to it, guys. But exercise. I come up with a million excuses why I can't and why I won't do that. And ultimately, I do realize they are excuses. I blame the heat. I blame being tired from work. I blame not having somebody to do it with. Or, this person's wrong to do it because they go too fast. This one's wrong because they go too slow. This one discourages me. Like, all kinds of excuses. But ultimately, I do realize that there are excuses. That's all it is. It's just whatever I can come up with, and I can come up with some excuses. I can't think of really good excuses that I've used right now, but ultimately they always are. I mean, I look at Let's Get Fit with Sandy, and despite whatever the weather is, she goes out and she does her 2-mile walk every day, which is amazing, especially in some of the hot days. Like, I could tell that it was hot, and we'll see what happens with the winter. Like, that's more my time to shine. That's when I can do it easier. But ultimately, all of those are excuses, because if I want to blame the weather, there's an IKEA 10 minutes from here. There's 4 malls, however many malls there are. There are plenty of malls. I could be a 34-year-old mall walker. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be 90 to be a mall walker. I could do it. I could do laps around PetSmart. There's plenty of reasons, or plenty of excuses for my excuses. But, ultimately they're excuses. And so you've got to make that decision to change. And for me, and it's another excuse. I realize that, so don't. But ultimately, I'm focusing on getting my eating right first and going that route and then adding that in, because I am very easily overwhelmed. And so I do not want to go that route. But anyway, that's a huge side note. I wasn't meaning to go on with doing weight loss, and you can apply it to anything. I mean, with my depression, with my anxiety, like, I was having major anxiety about returning this shirt, and it seems stupid. Like, it was actually a customer today. I wanted to slap her. Don't repeat that to her. But I was mentioning, I was like, well, yeah, like I felt silly because I've never returned anything, but it's something I've never done, and it's confrontation a little bit because they always look at you like you're judging. I've gone with other people to do it, not that I've done it, but they always even look at them like really, that's what's going on here, and all of that. And I was mentioning that, and the customer was straight up like, yeah, that's a stupid reason. You should have just done it. So she was rude. I've had a lot of rude people the last couple of days. But ultimately, I didn't like the feeling of, okay, I'm not going to be able to wear this shirt until I can fit into it. And it's a 3X. Now, a large I'm going to fit into. I'm confident that I will. And I have bags and bags and bags of clothes in the basement that I'll be able to fit into because they were all large because I was there before. But it's going to be a while. And, the feeling of the anxiety and not wanting to deal with it, I decided, you guys helped, so thank you. But I decided that I did not like the feeling of that, so I did it. Same with depression, and it's not as simple as just deciding to feel better. I realize that. I have legit clinical depression. Well, there is medication, there is therapy, there are things that you've got to do, but ultimately you have to make the decision to do it. So, depression, anxiety, weight loss, health issues, all of it boils down to making the decision. And you've got to get in the right mindset to do any of it. So that's a huge thing. And that's why I really liked this meme. I was honestly trying to look for a meme that had to do with challenging yourself and meeting a challenge. And there were a couple that I kind of liked, but because of the shirt. But there were a lot that I kind of liked, but they weren't as really super motivational or really enough to talk about. But and who knows, maybe I'll fit them in, or maybe like I'll do like a twofer and kind of work them together. Because there's actually another one that I really want to talk about, and I'll probably talk about it next week, just because I love the message in it, and it is something that was kind of hard to find, and I finally found it. I was really, really happy because I couldn't remember the exact wording, and that's one I'm going to talk about next week. But yeah. So anyway, this one, I keep pointing the wrong direction, guys. Like, I know I say it a lot. I've done it a lot. I've messed up a lot, but like pointing in the right direction. I'm really hoping that eventually I'll get used to, if it's on that side of the screen, that I point that way, because it's all backwards. But anyway, I was really happy that I found this meme, and actually I've totally forgot. I made a folder like a year ago of positive memes, not related to weight loss, not related to being on a health journey or change or any of the things that I've searched lately. It's just positive memes. And I used to fill up my Facebook with it. And I happened to come across that folder. I was like, oh yeah, what's in here? And boom, there this was. This was perfect because, especially now that I am getting some progress. Like, it's not super, super obvious because it is only 30 pounds, but it's 30 pounds and it's starting to be noticeable. So notice that I corrected myself. I said only 30 pounds and then I corrected it. You got to do that when you have that mindset where you wouldn't say, I only lost this. You lost it. It's awesome. Congratulate yourself. But I lost 30 pounds and it's starting to be noticeable. So even I've had customers that don't know I'm on it that mention it. And so a lot of them always ask, well, how'd you do it? Or like, how'd you start? Because we all know there's a million different ways out there. I mean, I'm doing the Points Plus, well, my own little concoction with Points Plus, but the freestyle, keto, or calorie counting, low carb, there's a million different ways. We all know how ultimately to lose weight. It's not rocket science. It's easy. But for me, the hardest part is the staying motivated and how to start, like just mentally starting. And you've got to decide, and you've got to be honest with yourself, because a lot of times you say, yeah, I'm ready, but you're not. You've got to, you got to think about everything that it does involve and really decide, are you ready for that? And you've got to decide to be ready for it. And ultimately, you weigh the pros and cons. I don't like feeling this way. There's something I can do about it. And that's something that I say a lot. Anytime a friend or a customer or coworker or whatever, if people want to complain, complaining makes no sense to me. Let's put it that way. Because one, if you can do something about it and you're choosing not to, you have no right to complain. Two, if you can do something about it and you are doing something about it, then you're not complaining because you're changing it. That one, actually, that's not a factor. That one I messed up. Two, let's go back to two and pretend I didn't say that. Two, if you can't do something about it, then why complain? Because it's not going to change. And so it makes no sense to me. And I get sometimes you do just need to vent. I do have a coworker that we will vent sometimes, and there's about certain things where we're like, well, it's not going to change, but we got to say it out loud. But ultimately, like for us, you vent and get it out. But ultimately, it's not going to change. So like complaining to everybody until you're blue in the face makes no sense. And there are some people that just live to complain. I don't know. I don't enjoy complaining. I feel better when I'm talking about good things. Despite, I feel like I've talked about several negative things and rude people. But, I'm a walking contradiction sometimes. But either way, back to the meme. I don't know. This one I can't overanalyze. Like, I've analyzed it a lot, but I don't feel like there's a lot more I can go with it because I broke it down already. You got to wake up and decide that you don't want to feel that way. And the excuses part, that's huge. You've got to look at your reasons and see if they're true reasons or if they're excuses. And realize that ultimately, most of them are excuses. There's probably some real reasons why you might not have been on a weight loss journey before or decided to tackle your depression, anxiety, whatever else you want to apply this to. But most of them are going to be excuses. And you have to realize that. Like, I realize my excuses for not exercising for what they are. They are excuses. But I'm making little changes. and eventually I will decide, all right, it is time, I am ready. And unfortunately, it's not that time yet. But luckily, it is that time for eating healthier and losing weight. So yeah. So anyway, I'm rambling on. I'm repeating myself, which is pretty much how I end like every video. So anyway, please like, please comment, please subscribe, please share my videos. That'd be fun. And if you haven't yet, hit the little bell, and that way you'll get notifications, because I posted a bonus video already this week. Granted, but I have an awesome bonus video coming up on Monday where I'm doing a collab with a bunch of other YouTubers. It's all about fall. It's going to be amazing. And there's going to be another one because Sandy from Let's Get Fit with Sandy just tagged me in a little question and answer thingy. So I've got to do that now. So I don't know when that one's going up. But so I have a lot of stuff coming up, and they're not going to be on my typical Sunday, Tuesday, or Thursday video. So hit the bell. You'll know when they go up. And so yeah. So unless I do that tag, I'll see you on Sunday when I do my weigh-in. Either way, it'll be soon. Have a good day, and I will talk to you all later.